Hello everyone, I'm Paul and this is problem 1306, jump game free. This is a medium problem and next I will show you my thought process and efficient solution. The description is simple. We are given an integer array and an integer start. We start from this index start and the goal is to reach any index with the value equal to 0. If we can do this, we return true, else we return false. So if we're given this input, we have to start from index 5, meaning here, and we can go either left or right. Let's say that we decide to go left. We take 5 and the current index minus the current value and we can go to index 4. So next we are here and we can go left again. We do 4 minus 3 and this is equal to 1. So next we are here. And from here we can go right. We take the current index plus the value and this is equal to 3. And now we are here and the current value is 0. Given that we can reach a number 0, the result in this case is true. And this is just one possible solution. Another one is we can start from 5 and go right. We do 5 plus 1, so next we are here. Then we can go left, so we do 6 minus 2, this is equal to 4. Then we go left again, next we are here, and from here we can go right, and now we are here. In this scenario, we can also reach 0. We have to start from index 5, meaning here. And we have two choices. We can go either left or right. So the key is that maybe we can explore every scenario. We start from the source and we can go either left or right. Let's say that we decide to go left. Next we are here and we have two choices again. We can go either left or right. So from here we have two choices. And with this, now I think you get the idea. We start from the source, and if at any point we find a 0, we return true, else we return false. This means that we can use either DFS or BFS to solve this. Here I will show you a recursive DFS solution. Overall time complexity for this is big O of n, because in the worst case we are visiting n elements, and we will have a set to keep track of the indices that we have already seen. So this requires big O of n time and big O of n space because of the space for the set and the call stack. So with this in mind, now let's go with the code. We can start with the DFS function. This takes an index and we have two base cases. For the negative one, we can say if I strictly is more than 0 or I is greater or equal to n. This means that we are out of bounds, so we can just return false. And if the current index is in the set for indices that we have already seen, we also want to return false. So here we say or I in sin. For the positive base case, we say if array I is equal to 0, we can just return true. Now, if we are here, we can add to sin the current index, and now we need to go right and left. For right, we say DFS with I plus array I, and for left, we call DFS with I minus array I. So if any of these calls return true, we want to return true, else we return false. So here we can say return this or this, okay? Now with this, we can say that sin is an empty set, n is the length of the array, and we can just return DFS with start. Remember that we are given this variable. So if this call returns true, we return true, else we return false. So this is the entire code. Let's submit this and see if it works. As you can see, this works and it's very efficient. So if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.